Hi everyone, my name is Jeremy. I'm a member of the student chapter of the Wildlife Society here on Missouri Western's campus, and I want to talk to you today about skulls, and not just any skulls, but megafaunal skulls. These animals that we are going to look at, most of them anyway, the three here in the front, are from the Pleistocene era, which spanned from about 2.5 million years ago to about 15,000 years ago. That's when most of these animals lived. And the first we're going to look at is the short-faced bear right here. This is him. And as you can see, it's very large. It's a massive bear. Many of you are familiar with the polar bear, which lives today in the North Pole in the Arctic. This bear was much bigger than the polar bear. It weighed upwards of 1,500 pounds. That's a ton is 2,000, so that gives you an idea. They stood on all fours to a height of almost 6 feet and were almost 10 feet long. These bears were fierce hunters, fierce predators that ate mostly meat. They hunted their food, very much like lions and tigers and of that time as well, which were competitors for prey. They fed on large animals such as bison, musk oxen, elk, even ground sloths, which were also a very large animal. They lived and hunted mostly on grasslands and open prairies of North America. The next animal we're going to look at is called, or known as, an American lion. This is its skull right here. Again, very large animal, not as big as the short-faced bear, but still, they would hunt in packs. They'd hunt together as a group and bring down very large prey, like bison, very much the same prey as the short-faced bear. They also lived on the plains, grasslands in North America. If you consider, we don't have a size comparison for African lions, but they're bigger but hunted very similarly and lived in a very similar habitat. The next skull we have here for display is a saber-toothed cat, which a bit smaller than the American lion, but much fiercer in the way that they would hunt. They actually were in competition for food with the American lion. The American lion is thought to have developed strategies to hunt much differently than the saber-toothed cat, because the saber-toothed cat was such a fierce competitor and would literally force the American lion out of some of the places that it would, share habitat and compete for prey. One of the advantages, as you can see, that this particular predator has is the very large canines. Very overdeveloped, very fierce looking, and they weren't just there for looks. They would actually assist the cat in killing its prey. They would be able to plunge it into their neck generally, and that would be a finishing blow for whatever animal it was hunting. These teeth were actually, they didn't use the teeth beyond the killing blow for its prey. They were actually thought to be fairly fragile. But they weren't just for looks. They would definitely use them. This cat ranged from North America all the way through Central and South America, and lived in lots of different lots of different habitat ranges, from grasslands to mountains to forests, tropical forests even. So it's very versatile. It was found all over the place. So there's that. Some other skulls that we have for display here for comparison are skulls like mountain lion, which you compare these skulls, you can get an idea of the size differences between the American lion, the saber-toothed cat. Just massive, massive difference in size. And that was due to the fact that the prey that these guys had to deal with were much larger, much larger. So you had to be large to compete, to be able to take those prey down. We also have another cat here, bobcat, which both of these we have in Missouri. Bobcats are established populations. Mountain lions, not really. They generally pass through the state, but they're here pretty much all the time. Just we don't have any established populations. So considerable size difference between these two animals, but nothing compared to their Pleistocene cousins. We also have here a canine, which is a coyote skull, and for comparison, closest thing, I suppose a bobcat and coyote, fairly close in size, but you can see the differences in their skulls. And on display I also have a non-predator. This is actually, would be a prey animal for some of these, actually maybe all of these on the table in the front here. This is a pronghorn skull. And pronghorn are still in North America today. And the interesting thing about pronghorn is that their lineage, phylogenetically, are directly descended. I should say they're not descended. They never were extinct. There was a very large extinction, a mass extinction, at the end of the Pleistocene. There were two periods. The Younger Dryas, which was a fairly short period, where you had a severe drop in temperature at the end of the Ice Age. Things started to warm up, and then you had the Younger Dryas period, where it got very, very cold again. And then the Holocene period began, the Holocene era. And the pronghorn survived this entire time. So the extinction event that brought about the demise of these three in the front that we talked about, the short-faced bear, the American lion, and the saber-toothed cat, was characterized by change in climate, which also changed the vegetation, which affected their prey. They had to compete for less and less prey, and eventually were not able to survive. We lost many species of megafauna, such as camels, horses, mammoth, the ground sloth. All these prey animals to these predators died out, and subsequently the predators also were extinct. So I think that's about all we have. There's a quiz at the end of the slides that you'll hopefully have fun completing. And if you check out, we have several videos, and if you check out our other videos, we have one on antlers and horns and the difference between them. You might want to check that out. Thank you. Oh.
Yeah, you can do it.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and ask the question. Whose diet consisted of megafaunal mammals? And the possible answers: saber-toothed cat, bobcat, or cave bear. We talked about these, and if you'll remember, the megafaunal mammals have all been extinct, so the saber-toothed cat was the only animal at that time that was alive to feed on them. So A would be saber-toothed cat. Next question. Who lived in the plains or grassland of North America? Is it A, cave bear, B, saber-toothed cat, C, American lion? The answer would be C, American lion. We did talk about these other animals, but their habitats were different. So next, who weighed about 1,500 pounds? Was it a saber-toothed cat, a short-faced bear, or a coyote? And if you remember, the only animal that we talked about was even close to that much weight, which is approaching a ton, would be the short-faced bear. And we hope you did learn something today and had a great time. Thank you.